Right, so we have to solve the word problems given below here. A car travels 120 miles in 3 hours with a constant speed. How long will it take to travel 200 miles? You also have that 50 apples costs $25. How much would 75 apples cost? So we have these, and now we are finishing to solve this, and we shall just finish very quickly. Let's get started with the first question, number one. Right, so number one is very straightforward because in number one, we actually effectively are saying that these car travels, so we know that speed equals distance over time. And we even know this relation here about speed, distance, and time. So we know that speed is distance over time. So that at this point, we need to find the speed, so which means therefore that speed equals, okay? So speed equals the distance is 120 miles. So we have 120 miles, right, divided by the amount of time, and the time is 3 hours, like so. And we're told in the question that the speed is constant, so that you divide here, you get exactly 40. Yeah, welcome, Saman. I will be with you just now. Miles per hour. So that is what you have, that you have miles per hour. Right, so now with this said, what then are we supposed to do? So how long will it take? Because here's the question. A car travels 120 miles in 3 hours with a constant speed. We've just found the speed there. How long will it take to travel 200 miles? So how long is time? So we need to just look at this relation because and understand, therefore, that time equals distance of a speed. So in other words, time equals distance over speed, okay? And the distance here is what, okay? Here is the question, 200 miles. So you put the 200 miles here, like so, and you divide by the speed, which is constant, which is exactly 40 miles per hour. Okay, 40 miles per hour. You divide here, the miles cancel out, and you have exactly the 200 divided by. Okay, I know this is not your stuff, Saman. It's not your stuff. I just brought this in because we were just waiting here, and this student was telling me about this. So I'm just finishing this quickly. So you have 200 divided by 40 is exactly 5. So you have exactly 5 hours. You have exactly 5 hours because that was the question here to say how long will it take to travel 200 miles. Okay, the second question is that 50 apples cost $25. How much would 75 apples cost? Okay, I've done this question in a different way before. A couple of minutes ago as I received it, but it can be done differently. For example, if 50 apples cost $25, this just ratios, so you can look at it as ratios and say, okay, you have 50 apples. 50 apples are to $25. Okay, if 50 apples are to $25, then we're interested in doing the finding out the 75 apples, how much they will actually cost. So one way to do that is to say, how much does just only one apple cost? So you can take the 50 apples, and so you can divide by 50 because you want to find out the cost of just one. Right, so you have the $25 on the other side, you divide by 50, which means that one apple One apple is actually going to be 25 over that, which is just one half of that, which is actually exactly like 50 cents, like so. Okay, right. Now we are interested in how much the 75 will cost. So we take 75 plus one apple, which is 75 by 0.5 naught. So, which means therefore we have 75 apples. So the 75 apples will cost, I said, 37.50. 37.50. Okay, so that is what we have here exactly if you use a calculator. So it's gonna cost exactly that much. So it's gonna cost $37.50. Okay, like so. So in other words, the answer to the second question is that if you have 75 apples, they will actually cost $37.50. Okay, right. Now, I'm finishing this very quickly. The Saman, my apologies. Now it takes, I think somebody just took a question, some basic questions from school. Is a teacher this one? Right. So it takes, right. It takes Mike. Right. It takes Mike 18 minutes. 18 minutes to finish reading 4 pages. Reading 4 pages of a book. Right, 4 pages of a book. Okay, 4 pages of a book. Right, of a book. How long? Right. How long does it take? How long does it take for him to finish reading 30 pages? Right, so it takes Mike 18 minutes to finish reading 4 pages of a book. How long does it take for him to finish reading 30 pages? Okay, so let's look at the solution to these, but very, very straightforward problems here. Okay, let's solution to this. So this again is just a notion of ratios. You can look at it as ratios and then say, so 18 minutes. Right, so 18 minutes are to 4 pages. Because it takes Mark 18 minutes to actually finish reading 4 pages of a book, then now obviously the unit of time here to say, okay, if it is only now, how long does it take for him to finish reading 30 pages? So you can look at it that way. So there are many ways to do that, right? So you can just do the following, right? So in other words, what you have is 18 minutes. Right, exactly to 4 pages. And now if you look at this question, you are interested in how long will it take? 30 pages. So you are interested in 30 pages. So the couple of ways. So you can look at, for instance, 1 page. 1 page. So you can actually take the 4 pages and then take the 18 minutes and perform basic division. And say you divide here by 4, you divide here by 4, so that 1 page is actually the same as what? is actually the same as what? Right, so you have 18 divided by 4, which is exactly 4.5 minutes. Right, so it's 4.5 minutes is to exactly 1 page. Right, so if this is the case, the question is looking for how long does it take for 30 pages? So you just multiply by 30. So in other words, you're going to say 30 by 40.5 minutes, like so. And then you also say 30 by 1 page. Okay. Yeah, this is not just stuff somebody. Once again, I'm just finishing quickly. So in other words, you then have here 30 by that. So you have 30 by 4.5, 135. So that's going to give us 135 minutes. Is to 30 pages. So 135 minutes is to exactly 30 pages. So obviously you need to think about this, and it can be written differently because it's a question of how long does it take to read the 30 pages. So you can look at it in terms of hours and minutes. So you can really say, okay, 120 minutes, 120 minutes plus 15 minutes will give us 135. Right, so, and this is to 30 pages. So 120 minutes is going to give us exactly 2 hours. It's 2 hours and 15 minutes. Okay, I'm finishing this, please. Oh, I think that I'll have to, yeah, okay, 2 hours and 15 minutes. I think that I'll have to maybe begin our discussion at 18:30 because now okay, I did not plan this. So it's actually 30 pages. Okay, hence the conclusion to this question is that hence it takes him hence it takes him 2 hours and 15 minutes to read 30 pages. Okay, so that is the question. Okay, yeah, I'm rounding up. This one is just one more. All right, now there is Nathan. Right, so now the question of Nathan packs 25 boxes. 25 boxes in 2 hours. How many boxes can he pack in his 8-hour shift? Okay, here's the question, and you look at the solution to this about Nathan. So Nathan packs 25 boxes in 2 hours. How many boxes can he pack in his 8-hour shift? So this one is pretty an easy one. So in other words, you have the ratios here, 25 boxes. 25 boxes are to 2 hours. Right, so how many boxes in 8 hours? So you multiply by 4. 4 times 25 boxes. 4 times 2 hours. So which means that we have 4 by 50, which is exactly 100. 100 boxes will actually therefore be to 8 hours. Like so, because that's what we want. So Nathan packed 25 boxes in 2 hours. How many boxes can he pack in his 8-hour shift? So in other words, in 8 hours, we're sure therefore that he's just going to pack 4 times this, which is exactly 100. Okay, now just one more question, and then I'm done with this. Right, because the student is just waiting for this now. Right. I'm just okay. It's a teacher asked me this. It's a student teacher. Okay. Right. Who just sent me these questions. All right. So now, if you look at the, so what's the conclusion? We can put the conclusion here to say how many boxes can he pack in his 8-hour shift? Right. Hence, he can pack 100 boxes in his 8-hour shift. Okay, so yeah, I want to just note these down because they asked me about a candy question. So that's 4. I'm finishing these questions. There are not so many. 5. Okay, the candy question 13. Candy bars. Right, candy bars weigh 26 ounces. Right, so 13 candy bars weigh 26 ounces. Okay, so okay, we are just finishing this one. Right, so if 13 candy bars weigh 26 ounces, what is the weight? What is the weight of 35 candy bars? Okay, so very easy question. It's just to write the answer to this one. So we look at the solution to the story sum. Right, if 13 candy bars weigh 26 ounces, what is the weight of 25 candy bars? So obviously this is pretty an easy one because we are looking at ratios again. Right, so now if you have 13 candy bars, okay, these 13, they actually are to 26 ounces of weight, of mass. Right, so what is the weight of 25 candy bars? So the secret to this is just find the weight of one candy. So one candy bar. So in other words, we continue and then say 13 to 26. 13 candy bars to 26 ounces. So you have 13 here, 13, which means one candy bar is to 2 ounces. Assuming normal distribution or just even distribution or uniform distribution of the weight. Right, so that now, what is the weight of 25 of them? So we multiply by 25. 25 by 1 candy. Right, 25 by 1 candy bar is to 25 times 2 ounces. As a consequence, you have 25 candy bars. Will have to be to 50 ounces. And hence, we just write down the conclusion to the question to say, okay, what is the weight of 25 candy bars? Okay, hence the weight of 25 candy bars is 50 ounces. Right. Hence, the weight of 25 candy bars is 50 ounces. Okay, like this. Next question. Okay, the very last. Okay, now a machine. That was 5, then we're looking at 6. Right, we're looking at a machine can produce 6 yards of fabric in 2 minutes. How much fabric can the machine produce in 1 hour? Right, the solution to this is very straightforward. Right, so a machine can produce 6 yards of fabric in 2 minutes. How much fabric can the machine produce in 1 hour? So very, very straightforward. So in other words, you have 6 yards, 2 minutes. Right, we have 6 yards, or exactly 2 minutes. Okay, so this is very straightforward because you need to know that 1 hour is exactly 60 minutes. So you can just use that to just crack this one and quickly get the answer to it. Because now you want to get 60 minutes here. So you need to multiply by 30. Okay, so in other words, multiply by 30 both left and right. So it means that you're going to say 30 by 6 yards is 30 by 2 minutes. Right, 30 by 6 is 180 yards. It's yards here. Is it D? Okay, so we have that. Okay, so which is equal to 60 minutes. Okay, but we agree therefore that the 60 minutes are together equal to 1 hour. So that 180 yards okay, so 180 yards are together equal to 1 hour. Okay, so yeah, it's the relation, the ratio. So how much fabric can the machine produce in 1 hour? Hence, the machine, right, Hence the machine, straightforward calculations here. Right, hence the machine can produce. Right, hence the machine can produce 180 yards in 1 hour. Right, so we have exactly that in 1 hour. Okay, right, and we have solved all these questions. Right, so awesome stuff. Right.